Welcome back to the To The Max podcast. We have an incredible guest today, and I'm super excited for this. This is absolutely crazy. We have the one, the only, Relic Rhymes in the house. What's up, bro?
What's up?
How are you, my guy? Good
my
to see you.
Hell yeah.
This is Ernie Mackey, otherwise Ernesto, otherwise Ernest, the fourth, fifth, sixth?
The fourth,
something
correct.
like that. He's on a long family line here, but Ernie's joining us. This is kind of a one-off, unique situation because Relic's in town, and Ernie knows a lot about Relic, and so do I after Claude and ChatGPT, because that's the only way we can get caught up with this guy, because he moves so fast. He's in motion. He's got momentum, and he's built something crazy in the last couple of years, and that's why we're so excited to talk about some of this stuff, because the way this man has garnered attention is just phenomenal, and it blows me away, and it's blown Ernie away, and we're just excited to kind of dive into that and hear a little bit about you. So we got some questions, and at the end of the day, we appreciate genuine conversation and just an organic kind of approach to things. So it's not super formal. Viewers, listeners will know that, or at least they'll eventually know that about this. So, I'm going to turn it over to Ernie, who can kick us off here. But yeah, man, that's kind of what it is. We're super fascinated to dive into your journey.
Thank you, bro. That's
man.
That's high praise, man.
Yeah, for real.
So let's go full circle. Let's take a step back real quick and talk about your upbringing, because based off my research, I realized, like we said, at 12 years old, you were a stand-up comic. So before we get any deeper into that, tell me how that started.
Or getting into it at 12, yeah?
If I really had an attitude of like, I guess I could do this stuff too. So it's like I think that was some of the first stuff I was watching when I was a kid was stand-up, and I started doing it. I was living in Jersey because I'm from Jersey, so I'd go to the city or go to like Hoboken area and do the open mics, and I was doing that for a number of years, and I was getting better and better because it gets to a point where you say to yourself, oh yeah, I've been doing it a while, but am I really a comedian though? When do you call yourself a comedian?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is it when you get a paid booking, or is it when you make a living off it, or is it when you do it on the weekend? So for a while I was just doing it in my spare time, but then I started going to more high end comedy clubs.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, yeah, now I'm really doing it.
And who'd you admire back then? Because you probably had a couple of like staples that you were like, was it an Eddie Murphy? Was it somebody who commanded a crowd?
I'd be watching late at night because I could never sleep good, and I'd watch like on HBO. I'd watch Kings of Comedy and the old Eddie Murphy.
Let's go.
And Dave Chappelle, and
we love Dave Chappelle.
I think my favorite was Dave, and then it was Eddie Murphy, and then Bernie Mac.
Some good people to look
Richard
up to
Pryor,
for real.
yeah, and then Robin Williams too. They rerun these specials every couple days.
You're talking about back then or still today?
Back then.
Yeah.
I'd be watching it late at night. They'd put on a
Yeah.
like Eddie Murphy Raw, and like I said, Kings of Comedy. They'd have the Robin Williams specials.
What made you know though that like comedy was calling to you? Was that like, hey, I just know I'm funny, or I know like I got the goods? How did or was it just happenstance and complete?
I think I was just fixated on how they did it.
Okay.
Because when you're watching it all the time, it's really not so magical no more. Because you're looking at how they, how they speak and the rhythm and their writing, and you start to pick up patterns, and then
very methodical, right?
Yeah, because it's all deliberate, So that's when I was like, I could tell the patterns that they're doing, so I'm gonna emulate it, and it was more like a learning thing. I was learning from it. You know what I'm saying?
From the goats, though.
Yeah, best people
for
to
real.
learn from.
Right.
Right.
Interesting. And growing up in Jersey, your manager now, he grew up with you, right? Is he your exclusive? Oh, no. Okay, I got that all wrong.
No, I wasn't. Friends I've had since I was a kid, there's not really many. So a lot of the people that are around me now I met later in life.
Yeah.
But that's okay. but it was just me and my family for real, and then that was it.
What part of Jersey did you grow up in?
So it's right in the middle.
Okay.
In central Jersey, it's Plainfield.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you've heard
Okay,
of that,
right
right?
on, yeah.
And then that's when it was like you take NJ trains to the city, and then you do what you do.
And that was when you were going and hitting the comedy stuff?
Yeah, a bunch of clubs don't exist no more because when the COVID happened, they were shutting down, and the COVID, it was a big problem. I remember because you wasn't allowed to be funny at first, because people was posting their comedy or their skits or whatever, and people was getting flamed because they was like,
About masks and all that? Or
no,
what?
they was like, hey, this not the time to be funny. Take it serious.
Oh.
That was a
Oh,
thing.
really?
Yeah,
Really?
I've seen people get canceled for
Dude.
just doing their regular comedy. So a lot of people took a break, and I remember it was actually Dave who he was the first one to do an actual show
Of course it was.
that was socially distanced, and it was like a somber thing. It wasn't like funny.
Was that
funny.
also a Netflix special or no?
Something like
Or
that?
some, yeah.
But I know
Okay.
he did a special, and I know it was like right in the middle of the COVID, and I just remember there wasn't no shows going on. There was Dangerfields, which was the club I'd go to.
Of course.
Closed. There was a bunch of clubs that closed, and that was a big problem. But that's when I was like, all right, because I was already doing music, but I was like, I could do more with music, during this period.
So how did like the comedic twist on the music come into play? Because I figure that's kind of an angle, right? In terms of being able to garner attention. You know, how did you come up with this character? I think from what I understand, Relic was a superhero, maybe that you dreamed up in the past, or a comic book character of some sort. Am I
Yeah.
crazy for that?
No, you're not crazy.
Okay.
That's something I made when I was like 15, 14, and I was like coming up with comic book stories, and I picked that because I knew the name wasn't took. So
That's unique. That's awesome.
yeah, it was crazy, and
wild.
that's something I had since I was a kid, but like when it comes to the comedic twist, it's like I wasn't even trying. It's like the same with stand up. A lot of it is just how you tell it. It's not necessarily what you're saying.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, oh yeah, I know this will be funny.
It wasn't as
I
straightforward.
was just being
Yeah, yeah.
myself, but in a way, you know what I
That
mean?
people thought was funny.
Some people don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like, however I tell the story.
Yeah.
And how it
That's
can
what
be
matters.
interpreted. A lot of my friends who was funny, they're not funny whatsoever. They don't think
Yeah.
they're funny. they're like, I'll be laughing and they'll be like, what's funny? So those are people who, when you get interpreted, their brand of comedy, you gotta understand them.
For sure.
And
So yeah.
That's something I think is amazing about yourself. We've got to know you a little bit now. You seem like a very calm, cool, collective person.
Thanks.
So, which is awesome. I mean, a lot of people would think you may be bouncing off the walls, like very energetic, and it seems like you're very, very about your business. Thing I
Well,
like
he
about
is
that-
when that time is
Oh yeah,
right.
that's
yeah.
the beautiful thing. But even your style of comedy isn't like you said. Some people may find it funny, some people may not. But you being unapologetically yourself is the coolest thing in
That's
the world
what
to
we're
me,
all
and that's why I
about,
brought
dude.
up. I think you may be an expert marketer, because one thing about stand up I know for a fact, you have to command a room. It's a very
Sure.
uncomfortable thing to do. You have to have a presence. One, two, you just have to be somebody that's inherently digestible. Someone likes you to some form or fashion.
Sure.
Right.
When did you find out how to control those rooms and get the following you have now? Because what you have and what you're building is something really special.
Well, regards to that, you got a cheat code.
Yeah.
Because when you're performing, you're the one with the mic.
Correct.
There's only one guy with the mic. So if you have it, that's already a cheat code. So you gotta understand, all right, if I have the mic, I gotta have something to say.
Mm.
And I gotta understand, like, all right, all these people are going to listen to me to a degree because I'm the one with the mic.
Yeah.
Now, in real life, you don't have a mic all the time.
Nah.
But it's the same kind of concept where it's like, I still need something to say in order to sort of, get people on board, right?
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of ways, you could could have something to say. You could say it in ways that will be like, okay, yeah, I'm listening to him. Sometimes you could not say nothing, and then they'd be like, oh yeah, well, I want to listen to him. He's not saying nothing. But I think, you know, commanding a room shouldn't be something that's too arduous. The task, it's not that difficult. It really just, it's just understanding the ebbs and flows of like how people are thinking.
But that is generally a principle across all crowds, right? That's not just. I mean, of course, location matters,
For sure,
right? But
yeah.
like to an extent, that's kind of a universal thing that you could lean into, right?
Yeah.
Depending on the crowd.
For sure, any crowd.
Yeah, any crowd. Interesting.
If there's a line of people and they're waiting for 3 hours in the heat and they're upset, and then you got to come out and like calm them down, you know what I mean? That context can
It
help
matters.
you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you could say, "Everybody, shut up and wait," and they'll get upset. Why are we listening to you? You could say,
Yeah,
"Hey
hot
guys,
and
yo, I
flustered.
understand. You know, it's hot. Tell me about it, but you know, we just gotta settle down here a little bit. We'll get right to you." There's ways of understanding the environment, and then you could sort of dictate, you know, what you're saying.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like that. So what led you to, you know, we talked about kind of Relic and how that came to be in the first place, but, you know, separating from, let's say, comedy and then COVID came into play, right? Were you still in Jersey at that time?
Yeah.
Because, like, COVID was almost a launching pad for you that you ended up harnessing. Is that right or wrong?
Not,
In-
I mean,
in some way.
maybe in hindsight,
Yeah.
but shit, not when I was there. I mean, I was working.
So were you
I,
up in
I was an
Jersey?
essential worker. Remember
Okay.
the
Okay,
people?
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
had started a job.
Yeah, what were you doing?
I was delivering flowers,
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
so
Around
driving
Jersey.
the flower truck. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
you guys have to have that sign on the back like we did down here, where it
What
said
sign?
essential worker, or else you'd get pulled over.
Oh, was that a thing?
That was a huge thing here. God, it was
I don't
miserable.
think so.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one cared to stop. I mean,
Yeah,
I,
exactly.
I was like, I was still working, and I remember still having to go into the city and like do certain things and work and stuff. But
When did you wrap up that job? 5 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that.
so that was my last job.
Yeah.
Job. So
Nice.
that was like 2021 and into 22,
Okay.
I think. But
So-
yeah, it was just it was a tough job, and I was driving all day, and you know people was dying, so I had to go to flowers for the funerals.
Oh man, of
You know
course,
what I mean?
dude. That's a huge element.
And people's
Okay.
getting sick, so I'm knocking on doors, and it's like get well flowers and stuff.
Okay, so it's
Yeah, that's not just like pick me up flowers. That's
That's a-
like there's some hardcore shit going on.
yeah, it's a lucrative business at
Interesting.
the time.
Yeah, and then you go into the funeral and you see the people in the thing in the
Oh,
casket.
Oh my, that's got to be a dark. I'm sure
Because
that kind of had to play.
That's
with the
probably a
mental
big
little bit.
customer too, right? You go into the morgue or not the morgue.
That's the most expensive. Is that
yeah,
weddings.
flower setup.
Yeah, and then it was just a stupid and like not stupid, but it was just hard to like wrap your head around because you're handing
That's
someone
crazy.
flowers for their birthday and they all happy, and then you go to the funeral home. And
What
the
an
guy's just
emotional
laying there.
roller coaster
So
throughout a single
stupid.
day.
I
Yeah.
would be fried when I got home every day.
It was just unexpected too, but I was doing that, and then that was over, and I wasn't happy and stuff. So then I was like still doing music, but it wasn't going how I wanted it to, and then yeah, I come to Atlanta shortly after,
Okay, and that was 2022, if I'm not mistaken.
something like that.
Yeah.
And what specifically led you to Atlanta? Is it because of the music scene here?
Yeah, so there was a lot of people coming up from here, and I had connections to people with YSL, and
Oh, okay.
that I ended up coming down here right around that time where it was going really good, and then I remember it was my birthday, and I came down, and I was working with some people that was signed to the label. I was doing some videos, and that was, I think, like the month before or something. Jeff get locked up, and then he was there for 2 years.
Were you signed to YSL? Is that what you're saying?
Not at the time.
Oh, okay.
But I was working with all the artists.
Yeah.
And when they did the Rico, it was a thing. It was just a big.
I followed all along with that. That stuff's crazy.
Yeah. So that just put like a hold on a lot of things.
Mm.
And but I stayed in the city and was working and filming videos and just doing what I do.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Well, I guess in terms of inspiration, obviously music is the thing, right? And that was part of it, YSL coming to Atlanta, and that all makes sense. But the comedic twist, was this like some late night creative creation? I mean, dude, you built like a whole character around this, right? And so I think everybody is going to have to acknowledge your haircut at some point, right? We
This?
gotta talk, this, bro.
You
This?
sure?
Yeah. So at first, I'm over here looking it up online, and I'm like, it's gotta be a wig, right? And then I saw some videos, and you were like, no, this is my real like haircut. Like I've been rocking a bob way longer than you. That was I don't remember which video it was, but you were just telling somebody, nah, man, like maybe it was oh, dude, Oliver Tree. I don't know if it was that video, but anyways, you've had so many crazy collabs, right? Talk to me about the character, and I guess we'll call it a character, but like you almost embody it to a insanely cool extent. And I'm amazed that you're able to add this comedic twist to garnering attention. And that's kind of like what me and Ernie admire. We're like, this guy's a marketing genius. So
That's
we're
love.
curious on
I
that
mean,
front, bro.
I'm really, I don't even, the character you talk about is just me.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
You know what I'm
where
saying?
I
Well,
was gonna
that's
butt
the
in.
question. Like,
That's
that's
where I
what
was
we're
gonna
trying to
butt in.
understand.
And that's where I kind of backtracked earlier when I was saying the marketing genius, and you were telling me it was high praise, which it was meant to come off across as that. But when I brought up you being calm, cool, collective, I realized almost instantaneously when you walked through those doors and shook my hand, this is him. This is not a character.
Yeah.
You were unapologetically yourself, and that is the
much.
coolest thing in the world. Because in other people's perception, they're like, "Oh, it's a character. He's running it." But as I shook your hand, I was like, "It's just a cool dude who's got a cut that he loves." And
Well,
he's utilizing that to his advantage.
It's pretty much sums it up. I think.
That's so cool, dude.
It's one thing, like we said earlier, like to understand like how to control the room and how to properly say what you gotta say, but that don't take away from like who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I'm just presenting who I am in a way.
Yeah.
That's
You
dope.
know what I'm saying?
Through a specific lens.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And then one thing, real quick, I know we're getting heavy in the rapping side, so I'm gonna backtrack a tiny bit. How did the people around you perceive you wanting to switch from being a comic to rapping? Was it received well by family and friends? Was it, I don't know, what did it look like on your end when you told them, hey, I'm gonna pivot into making music?
Well, and you also said, maybe not all the Jersey boys are with you still nowadays. You've met some new friends along the way, but like, yeah, the OGs, the people who you're with on the front end, how's that look?
I mean, they told me not to.
Really?
It was like, yeah, you're gonna look stupid.
Close friends or like?
At the time, yeah. It was like, you're gonna
Wow.
look stupid. And
God, that
I was
piss-
like, nah,
that pisses me
I
off,
was
dude.
like, I could do it. And they was like, don't.
They're projecting.
That's not very
They're
encouraging.
projecting their cap on you, dude. That's crazy.
I mean, it wasn't like, it wasn't so super, a refusal, but it was more like brushing it off.
Yeah.
But then I can't even blame nobody because I wasn't good. You know what I mean? It took practice and like.
Which
like,
is where we
I
all
wouldn't.
start.
I would have thought at the time, oh yeah, it's easy. You know what I mean? You could just blow up, but it's like it's really not because every overnight success takes 10 years of
Correct.
hard work. So it's like
Respect for that one.
yeah,
That's the story of my life, for real.
yeah. No one's gonna notice the work. It's always gonna be they notice the results.
The late
Correct.
nights, the sleeplessness, the hustle.
And that's
yeah,
the
that
grind,
never
bro.
really stops either. So
Well, also in time, I feel like you come to love it, or at least for me, I used to like kind of hate that I would be alone and these dark nights, and like you hit some, for me at least, like some depression, some waves of like, am I even on the right track? Should I be here? Should I be doing this? But then, you get kind of like a little glimmer of something after persistence and after like a decade of work. For example, like right now, this podcast only came to be because of 11 years and a few months of groundwork that I put in on the front end, and the timing has aligned flawlessly. And I do acknowledge like a higher power that there's, a bigger plan out there. and we're all just kind of right where we need to be. But they don't see that work. They don't see your hustle, all those nights and all that stuff that you put in to be a overnight success. And there's no such thing.
I mean, they don't really need to see it either, right?
No, they don't,
Like,
for sure.
Why would I care?
Yeah.
No,
If
but
you
it's
think about it, why, like, I don't like when artists complain. You know what I mean? Because it's like you have no room to complain. We all do. We're all suffering
what
just
type
as
of
much
complaint? The hustle, the late night, all that shit, or
that, and just saying, you know, oh, there's this problem, there's this problem. Complaining is fine, but when you're telling your fans like this is the problem, it's an issue because, you know, first of all, everyone got problems.
Yeah.
Second of all, why should I care about this guy who's more lit than me problems?
Yeah.
And then third of all, it's like, as a supporter of something, why would I want to see all the work that goes into it? Better yet, why would I want to live through and suffer from all the work that goes into it? Because for me, it's not suffering; it's enjoyment. So why would I want to sit there and like, really, like, it's one thing to see a behind the scenes of something if you're interested, but why would I want to sit there and actually go through the pain of something? You know what I'm saying?
That's it. You've always had that mindset?
Well, think about it from like a perspective of like a viewer, right?
Yeah.
Why would the viewer care to go through the same pain you went through? You know what I'm saying?
they shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
So it's like, I don't blame them for just looking at results, because all the work that went into it, it's not really their problem unless they want to do the same amount of work. In which case, they're gonna get their own success in their own way from that amount of work.
That's
Agreed.
true.
Well said.
So, that's kind of like, that's the most cut and dry way, you know, looking at it.
Well, something, you know, that I think we've gotten a good foot on in this podcast is really just telling people, hey, look, like, we want you to live out your passions and find what you want to be doing every day. Because when you get to success, let's call it 20 years from now, or, you know, for you currently and still building, and you look back, it's the journey that every wise older person says is what needs to be enjoyed in the moment, in the present.
Sure.
Because when you look back and you're like, oh, it's all just a blur and whatever, they say, no, you got to like enjoy each day and live in the present. And to me, it sounds like you're living your path on where you need to be. For me, it was more of like a hustle and grind because it was landscaping and it sucked. You know what I mean? Like, and now it doesn't anymore, but it's taken a decade to figure that out. But landscaping was never my passion. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
And so I just think it's really cool that, you know, you've been able to figure out these things that you intuitively enjoy to get you to today. And it's not an overnight success, but I just think that that's probably allowed you to live and enjoy more in the present, you know, as you've built something and you're just starting to begin to build, you know, who you're about to become.
Right. But, you know, I always say, you know, that enjoyment aspect takes a lot of work. So I don't ever skip the part when I tell people, yeah, like, this is going to be a lot of suffering and hard work, and is you up for that? Because a lot of times they'll just say, I'm really not. You know what I mean?
You're saying you address that on the front end. You say, hey, look, are you ready for this?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
it's like, you can't beat around the bush. It's going to be a lot of work. You know what I mean? So it's like, think about how much work goes into enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
Like, if you go to a water park, how much money and time it took to just build a big-ass pool. You know what I mean? So it's like, think about how much real work it takes to actually get your mind right and actually enjoy something. Now, think about trying to make that your career that you do every day.
Yeah.
And your business and stuff. It's going to take a lot of effort.
And there's usually a lot of risk, too, because a lot of people are comfortable in their corporate job or they got something going on and it pays the bills. But you and I both know it's the risk, and Ernie knows this, too, that will lead to your dreams eventually, right? You know?
Well, yeah. Comfort kills.
Comfort kills.
So,
Oof. Yo, you ever seen the Brad Lee podcast?
who's that?
Well, I'll send it to you later. Point being is, every time he has something big on the podcast, he does this audio sound, and it's a bomb dropping.
Oh, yeah.
When there's a big point, someone needs to take it and soak it. Insert bomb drop, Jacob. Thank you. So, okay, Asia tour. Let's talk about that. Ernie, Ernie, be more articulate on that front. But you did a stream of some sort and you traveled and you saw a lot of big people. I show speed among them, and the roster, by the way, of who he's collaborated with is just
insane.
incomprehensible. And I just more flowers on that front, bro. Keep going in that direction. We know you're just getting started, but talk a little bit about that because you know the specifics of his tour.
Yeah, I kind of want
tour.
you to kind of take the front because at the end of the day, I'm seeing it as how you were talking about from a viewer. But I don't know. I don't know if you're just. This goes back to the marketing thing. I don't know if you're just in the right place at the right time for certain experiences.
Definitely.
Or it is. So there's a good sense of luck as well as strategy there.
You make your own luck.
Okay, fair enough.
So, if I'm aware of something or I know where I need to be in a place, there's effort that goes into getting me in that place.
Of course.
So it's like, you luck is just what's that phrase? Luck is opportunity meeting preparation.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, you could say luck, but I'd say there's always something behind that. That's a domino effect.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I personally don't believe in luck because I think that you make your own luck.
Yeah.
You know.
I think doors open when you do the right things.
Yeah, and like you said, preparation.
I've seen
means
lucky
opportunity.
people fail.
Fair enough.
I've seen lucky people mess up their luck.
Or
Yeah.
people who took an opportunity but then didn't use it the right way.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, I've seen that too. But yeah, like Asia,
Well, I guess like what initiated it in the first place? How did you come up with that, right? And like connecting with other collaborators too, or entertainers. That's not the easiest thing in the world. Is it that they already knew who you were? Does your manager have connects? Are you just hustling and in people's DMs?
well, so first of all, that was 2 years ago.
Correct.
So that was before any hit song,
Okay.
and I had a video go up, and it was translated to Korean.
Okay.
So then that video did
YouTube?
okay on Instagram,
Oh, okay.
and I was like, you know what, there's probably a way I could expand upon this. So then I was like, well, okay, now I'm gonna go there, which I had no real reason to, but I was like, I'm gonna
Dude,
go
this
there,
is so smart.
and then I'm gonna. Once you say you're going to a place, you're not gonna know what to expect, but you could assume that people's gonna be, oh, you're coming, so we could get into something.
Yeah.
So then you end up. It was me at the time. I didn't have no manager, so I'm hitting up people in Japan and stuff, and telling them I'm gonna be there, and they want to work with people from America and other countries, so they was ready to go, and when I got there, I wanted to stream or vlog. I didn't have a camera person, so I just used my phone, and I was like, I'm in Japan.
That's amazing.
So that whole time, I was just filming myself.
How far in advance were you prepping and like hitting people up? Was it short notice, or you were like months out going, all right, I'm gonna be there. Like who am I gonna link with?
Less than a month.
Really?
So you're a by any means guy. Whatever it
Absolutely.
takes to figure it out,
Get it
you're gonna
done.
do it. So you'd
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
jump into that burning house and find a way to the exit,
Yeah.
as opposed to having a strategic route through.
That's a good.
The
way to
strategic route don't work because there's always going to be something that goes against it.
put it.
Of course.
So it's like you might as well construct things less linear,
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that was lit. I was there. I ended up getting a show by being there. So I didn't have a show planned.
Oh,
But
Okay.
because I was there and I was so like, hey everybody, I'm here, I actually did end up getting a show. So that's kind of like making your own luck.
what do you mean
know?
by a show?
I performed in Seoul.
Oh, okay, got it. Like an actual performance. Okay.
Yeah, but so the video you saw, that I edited that and like I filmed it, cut it together and all that. So I knew I had experience doing vlogs
That's so sick.
and filming. So I was like,
Dude, I'm all about the hustle. I love where your foundation is at because I feel like this is also going to be what is an anti-toppling effect for you later on. You're going to be grounded to the top.
I like
oh yeah,
Humility, baby.
I liked you
Yeah.
already from the research. The more and more I talk to you, I realize you're on a wrecking path in the right direction, and I'm feeling more and more.
Well,
blessed to
he's
be in the room
exactly
with
on the
Oh,
path he
thank
needs to be on, bro. For sure.
That's I'm trying. Yeah, I mean, I should say I'm doing, but
You are doing.
yeah, that's like it. So that is situation. I still get asked about it,
Yeah.
but it was still 2 years ago, and it was in my head not a big deal
It's huge.
because it was like, you know, it wasn't as big as some other things I've done, but it still laid a lot of groundwork because I could still go back to those places with the people I met and like the fans I made, and they'll still be like, "Oh yeah, I remember."
That's
You know what I mean?
So then, how did that combine with like I Show Speed? Was that there, or was that a whole different thing?
That was
when you-
different. Way
Oh,
different.
okay.
That was
completely different.
actually like, I think that was like
That wasn't that long ago, was it?
that was October.
Oh, okay, last year.
Yeah. So that was yeah, that was can't remember.
So how long did you stay on the Asia tour? We'll call it a tour.
Like 2.5 weeks.
2.5.
Oh, you was
Oh,
there for a
really?
minute. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought he was about to say longer, honestly.
No,
But
I feel like we were talking about, when it comes down to you understanding that there's like something unfolding, your business mind kicks in. And you're like, all right, let's get where we need to go. Move to the next thing.
Yeah, I think, you know, you need to always be doing something,
Okay.
even if it's something small. It don't got to be something big, but as long as it's something. But you could turn, if you could turn nothing into something, then you're always gonna be okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I'm just sitting here, essentially doing nothing, but I could turn that into something interesting for people to engage with, then I'm always gonna be good.
well, let's take today as a specific example. I sent you a cold DM out of nowhere, and you don't know who the fuck I am, and I have 0 following, right? So, you know, you said, "Hey, hit up my manager," and
But it don't matter
he's who I
'cause
coordinated with.
It don't matter because that was me at one point, DMing people with no following, so it don't matter.
Well, that's why it's big respect on that
Oh,
front.
that's dope, dude.
But my point there is, you could be here doing something else or nothing for that matter, and instead you're here sitting with us, you know, on a Friday afternoon when I know there's a million things you could be doing. And so that just shows you're a man of exactly what you're preaching, and that you're about that action, you're about that life. And so you're here, you know, you could be at home chilling and scheming your next move, but instead you're here, and I have a lot of respect for
You're
that.
a man of
right?
humility.
Yeah.
Not many men are.
I like what y'all doing, because you're saying you set it all up and you're already pushing it out.
Yeah.
So your mind's is on the next step ahead, which is good.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're here and we're now, and we're here with you in this podcast room, but, you know, there's a macro vision and a micro vision. I can only live and execute in the micro. I can be here with you and have this conversation. I do have big plans for where this is going to go, and I know it will. But, you know, for example, we had a couple audio issues on the first couple of podcasts, and simple issues that we got worked out, but, like, that didn't slow us down from posting it. It didn't slow us down from scheduling the next podcast.
Yeah.
Didn't slow me down from sending DMs and linking with you. And I think that's just a lot of this podcast is like, I'm trying to take my life experiences and harness other guests and be able to hopefully inspire people to live their best life. But where was I going with that? Yeah, I mean, dude, leaning into your passions and coming out of your shell. I think myself speaking, I've been in dark places before, and that was kind of the hidden hours that I was putting in, you know, when people don't say good job. They don't say, hey, keep going. They don't, you got to figure that out on your own. And that is a monster in and of itself, and that's also why 99.999% of, you know, people do end up failing. They stop short of the gold because, you know, they get discouraged, whether it's 1 year in, 5 years in, 10 years in. Some people, let's take the founder of McDonald's, bro. He didn't pop off until he was almost 60 years old. He was a traveling salesman until he was in his 50s. And he just persisted for decades and decades and decades, and it finally worked for him. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, it's a lot of respect for the late nights, the grind that nobody acknowledges. There are no overnight successes, and I hope that this will reach some people that will feel inspired by your story, and I know it will.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I think you know, it depends on what a person considers making it.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people, you know, you could be the most famous plumber in your town, and then you could it's
And
a
they
town
made
of
it,
50
yeah.
people, and you're very contented.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really how much you value commitment to something. So it's like if you feel like, hey, I got a lot of positive, um, things going on based off my commitment to a thing, well then, you're not really unsuccessful.
Yeah. What's your version of making it?
Well, I don't know, because you could ask people and say, oh, you already made it. You could ask me and I'd say, well, I want to do this and that. I think it's really just task completion.
Okay.
So if I set small tasks and complete them, then I get, the joy out of that, and then those tasks add up.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
it's about, I'll always be feeling like I made it, depending on how many tasks I complete.
So
You know what I
it's
mean?
the little things that add up to a long-term goal.
Or the bigger the goals too. So I'll say, I want to perform at this stadium, and that's a task. So it's like once I actually do it, I'll be like, okay, cool. But that's not the end all be all.
Yeah.
Because it's about how many tasks I could
So
complete.
it reminds, not to cut you off, that reminds me of a quote. I don't know if you know who Earl Nightingale is.
Sure.
A tremendous author. If anybody has not checked them out, you have to, especially Lead the Field. That one's excellent. But it reminds me of a quote about how he defines success. And it's the progressive realization of a worthy goal. Meaning it's not the destination. It's exactly what you're saying. The tasks you're lining up, the hustle, the movement, the motion, the act of doing so, and the act of pursuit. That should be defined as success, not that end goal, not the be all, end all, final destination.
The journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the journey. I mean, that's a fancy way of saying
That's pretty.
it's the journey.
I'd say it's fairly accurate.
Yeah.
It's fairly accurate. And also, everyone's trying to do the same thing.
Yes. And it's not talked
So
about
it's
enough.
like you can't really,
You mean between trends and all that sort of stuff today, or?
Nah, it's just everyone's trying to find their own, version of the euphoria, So
Yeah.
it's like, here's a theory for you.
Okay.
When I was doing stand up, there's something called an open mic crowd.
Yeah,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course.
So it's basically some bar would say, hey, we're going to have an open mic. The only people that would come are comics. So the crowd is filled with other comics that are waiting for their time
their
on the
turn,
stage.
yeah.
So this is a notoriously bad crowd because you're telling jokes to people whose whole job is to tell jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they are now looking at it through a lens of, okay, that was cool, I guess. Oh, that wasn't
It's
so
not what I
cool.
would have done.
That's not what I would have done. Hey, let me get on stage now.
Yeah.
Now, this is a phenomenon that is the same for everybody because everybody want to be an influencer or artist or a rich person or whatever. So they end up judging the people off of, well, how would I do it? So a lot of times, you go into or perform at a place or a festival, the crowd is full of other people trying to rap.
Yeah.
The crowd is full of other people trying to be an influencer. You know what I mean? So it's like they're already looking at it like, hey, when my time on stage is next, I'll be doing it better than him. And this is an issue because there's no fans, for
So
real.
they're all critics at this point.
They're critics or they're trying to be the person,
Mhm.
which is fine, but it's like separate yourself from, separate yourself so you can feel the magic, right?
Yeah.
Because what ends up happening is it's an open mic crowd. What do you want to do? The thing, you feel me? If a girl come out, if a rapper come out and shake her butt, and I put it on my story, and then I put my phone down and just stand there the rest of the performance. Well, now I'm putting that on my story for my little engagement and fans.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I'm there. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm already putting myself in that mindset of, I want to be the person too, and that's why it's an open mic crowd.
So this completely goes off a different path, but I think it kind of segues. How about your initial, I'm now posting, I'm now putting YouTube out, I'm now gonna do music and this and that. How does this relate to support from people who are supposedly your friends, right? What's interesting is I have a lot of really close people that are gassing me up, supporting me, and they're, resharing and they're reposting and all that, right? That's the freaking tight-knit crowd. But I also see 1,000 other people who I know all of them,
Oh, you
and they're watching. Relic, they are watching. Mm-hmm. I see the counts, but they won't even like, they won't even share, they won't even support. Is that jealousy? What do you think about people? And not that it fucking matters, right? Because my attitude is, fuck you guys. If y'all ain't gonna support a boy, then I will not see you at the top because you will not be there with me. But I just don't care anymore. But I used to, right? And so, what do you have to tell people about? Fuck what people think. Do you? Do you have anything to say on that front?
Well, I went through that too. Let them watch. Like, you're doing it so that people can watch.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Oh, no, 100%.
So, it could be a bunch of shit. It could be they jealous. It could be they're waiting for you to fail. It could be they're wanting something. Maybe they want you to do good, but they're thinking they could have did it better. It's the same open mic kind of crowd.
That's why it made me think of it, because it's exactly what you're saying about open mic and that twist of like, oh, I could do that.
It's
well,
like
bitch,
people will say, oh yeah, well I'm funnier than that guy performing, and then never
and then they won't ever step on a stage.
That's just how people are. So it's like,
yeah, people are finicky.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, I mean, I wait till you start getting hate. You know what I mean? And then there's people who just hate you for no reason. And then it really, I would get sensitive about it, especially about people I knew. But it's like,
in the beginning.
Yeah, but you do it for so long, the time put into it outweighs any sort of opinions. Because it's like, how are you really going to have an opinion? I'm already doing it for years. You really, logically speaking, I've done it longer than you've had an opinion on it. Correct. So it's like, you can't have an opinion on it. So it's like, I already kind of outdid that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
So I'm not going to go into if how long has McDonald's been a thing? Decades. I'm gonna go in there and be like, well, I could do this shit, but it's like it's already a thing since before I was born, so I really can't. It's just a staple of the environment.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's how I think about it.
Interesting.
That's dope.
It is.
It's interesting because I feel like you have not experienced this. For example, never in my life did I think I'd ever be a decent public speaker. But about 5 months ago, I had to get up and speak in front of quite a tremendous, a big crowd.
Yeah.
As we stepped up, I was mortified, and once I crossed that stage line, I absolutely crushed it.
You dialed.
But when I got off, back to being mortified. I don't understand how. Do you have that feeling ever when you're going up on stage or posting something like? And I found out that I'm a fairly good public speaker.
You're doing great. Yeah.
But do you ever have that doubt in your mind before you start doing something? Because I still do all the time.
Or was that primarily in the beginning and it comes with reps that you perfect?
I mean, if I was to get super preachy, the doubt is just making sure that the part of you that can do it is affirmed that you could do it.
Okay.
So I don't know if I could do it. It's like, you can.
Yeah. But
you're trying to prove that voice in your head wrong so that you extra lock in. Because if you wasn't doubting yourself, then it's kind of like you're not really 100% capable or caring to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, muscle memory, it gets to a point, I used to get nervous at things, but then it's like you could rely on skill because you do it so many times. Now you're not going to doubt yourself because it's a skill. It's like snapping your fingers.
Yeah.
You can do it. So that's that just comes with time.
Okay.
That's as
repetition.
Performance from a performance aspect.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about intuition? How does that play into somebody going, hey, I'm where I need to be? Granted, I already believe that even if someone's in a shitty position, usually it's because long term they need to extract a lesson from that in the long run. But how do you think leaning into intuition and gut feeling comes into play here? Or how would you articulate it if someone's out there and they're like, man, I hate what I do with my life. My gut tells me I need to do something else, but I'm scared, I'm terrified, there's risk. What would you say to those people?
I'd be like, why? Why are you feeling that there's a risk then? Because something is telling them that's not a good idea, and it just depends on how much they're gonna listen. Because they could listen. All the thoughts in your head is in your head, first of all.
Yeah.
So unless you're saying it out loud, it's not really too much to go off of.
Yeah.
I could think positive thoughts all day. So it's really just a frame of mind. Like if you think this is good for you and your gut is telling you, well, you have to try it. All those negative feelings steering you away from it, I'd even say, try that too. Try, you know what I'm saying? If you think you want to be a doctor, but you're a mailman, well then try the mailman thing out and see how much you really don't like it, and then try the doctor thing out. Maybe you won't
be
like
your
that.
own devil's advocate.
You have to just give 100% into something, and if you really, that's why I said like, a lot of people aren't ready for the work that takes a lot of shit.
Most of
You're not ready for it because it takes work to do anything. So if you half-ass something, you're gonna get the half-ass results, and then you're gonna be upset.
That's a good point. It takes work regardless.
Yeah, like
Whether you're doing what you want to do or not.
you might as well
Let
work
it be something you enjoy,
at
bro.
what you want to do, because it's gonna be just as hard. Delivering mail, delivering flowers, or whatever. So you might as well do something meaningful.
Give it 100% whatever you're doing, and if it doesn't work, try the next.
Yeah. Even people, they have jobs and whatever, or they do stuff, and they're like, oh, it's easy, I just sit here. Well, it can't be, because it's taking some sort of effort, even if you think it's nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just how much do you consider this to be effort?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And everyone has their why, like we were talking about previously. Like,
Yep.
You said it perfectly when you were talking about you have people who are famous in their own right in their town. Maybe a town of 50 people, and he's the best plumber in America in his mind.
That's cool.
That's dope. I think it's the coolest thing.
Yo,
in the
and
world.
that's a version of success for him, and he's living the successful
living the
life. I mean,
American
he's
dream.
living the dream.
Yeah, and I think that's the most beautiful thing.
And I want that for people,
Yeah, because
whatever that looks like.
some people's success is substantially different than money or fame. Some people want to be quiet family by themselves with no neighbors, and they could make $40,000 a year, and they truly feel like they're the president.
There you go.
And I think that's the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, definitely. I think so.
Let's switch things up, and we can always circle back. Bro, on the rapping front, which was the breakout song? Was it "Got My Hair Did" or "Got My Hair Done"?
I had 1.96 million streams. At
Yeah,
one point.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Was
I think it's
that
crushing.
like the one on the rap front or no?
Yeah.
Was there another one?
I had songs that was getting motion before that too, and it was going up. I put that out. I didn't think. I knew it was a good song. I didn't think it would go as crazy as it did, and then it started going really crazy, and I was like, okay, now I'm ready, and I'm like, I know what to do. So I kept it pushing. I put out some other songs that
It's not an overnight success. That's
No.
for damn sure.
it's not. And then even pushing the song, it takes months. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be next month a year.
Is it really?
Yeah, already.
Damn.
A year. It don't feel like a year
It doesn't.
because I'm able to push it a certain way. I never signed. I never had label help.
Yeah, so you're label-less right now. You are managing, your whole operation. That's crazy, dude.
No label. I was pushing it independent only because I knew how to from all the experience. If I didn't have that experience, like if an artist drops a song and it goes crazy, it's their third song, they're probably more likely to get ingested into that environment with the labels.
Mhm.
And that could go good, it could go bad, it depends. But I knew that I could do the job better than how they would do it.
So when you say pushing it out, and knowing what to do based on experience, Can you give some specific examples for someone
how
who's
to
got
how to
something
make
get,
it how to make it
Yeah, without the
thing.
help, right, of let's say Atlantic Records or whatever. What can someone do organically or just with pure hustle to push something?
I gave
Or
the
what did you
fans I gave fans a reason. I gave the supporters a reason to support it. So I showed what I was doing. I was consistent, and I was always doing something that was worth a conversation.
Yeah.
And that mattered more, on top of the song being good and the music being good. That mattered more because it's like now I'm giving people a reason to support.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not just some guy who's gonna be gone in a week. There's people who blew up after me and fell off already.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Within the past 365 days.
Yeah, literally a lot.
Yeah.
I had a label hit me up. A lot of labels reached out to sign.
After
And-
the song.
Yep. And I had a label reach out and said, you know, we actually want you to work for us as a marketer. We wanted you to do what you did to our artists. I told them no too, because this is more evidence of I could do your job better than you do it, and I know that, and you know that. So the
Which is why they're
conversation,
banging on your door.
they're banging on my door because they're like, it's a weird dynamic because then they're gonna think, oh yeah, like, you know, this is an easy like person. We know that we give it to you, you're gonna take the ball and run. But then I'm thinking to myself, I can get the ball myself.
I don't need you.
You know what I'm saying?
You're practicing what you're preaching now.
Exactly.
That's the beautiful thing about it, is that you genuinely are, and it takes a very strong and wise man to realize this. You realize you genuinely can do what they do 10 times better than they can.
They know it too.
I know, that's why they wanted to
So-
hire you. 'cause
And you got the
they wanted
receipts,
to make the profits off of
baby.
the talent that you put up.
We are all about coming with receipts. And all it takes is scrolling through your Instagram to be like, yo, this guy shows up. This guy's got receipts. But I love to talk about the fact that, hey, y'all can double vet, you can circle back, you can call my references. There are receipts. They exist. They are printed in stone, baby.
It's undeniable. And
It's
I got advice
undeniable.
from a friend that said you need to be just undeniable.
Oof.
You can't give them any reason whatsoever because they'll look for reason.
Who was that friend to you? And why did you listen to him on that front?
We always discuss marketing.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
always discuss marketing.
So he's intuitive. He said you got to be undeniable.
You got to be undeniable.
That's
His
powerful.
name's Schwan. You got to be undeniable, and you got to always, because you're always under a lot of scrutiny,
Always.
and it's impossible to not be under the scrutiny. So you have to literally just overcome it.
Well, if you want to do anything big.
And then they'll
You can
say,
live a
"Oh,
quiet
okay,
life,
well, he not, Relic not blowing up. He did this," and then I denied that.
Yeah.
Oh, Relic didn't get no numbers, and then I got numbers. Oh, well, Relic didn't get no collabs, and then you get collab. Well, I guess Relic blew up. Like, it's undeniable. That's the type of shit you gotta go through.
Yeah.
So it sucks, but that's why I kind of just had tunnel vision.
Like you said, there's ebbs and flows in the process.
Sure.
And the ebbs tend to be brutal. But it's a beautiful thing that you've kind of taken those and turned them into superpowers.
Trying.
It's a dope thing.
Yeah.
So let's zoom out. Let's talk macro. Relic. Where's he headed? What's the destination? Granted, we're living every day like it's our best life and we're living in the present, but where are you going? Where are you headed other than the top?
I think people. I think I haven't changed for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been the same type of person and the same person, which is me.
Yeah.
So I think when people, because things trend and then they don't trend, and then things go up and then they don't, and then people come into your stage and then they leave, but I'm still up here, performing. And I think I'm going to continue to do so. And I'll have moments where, oh yeah, this is a big moment, everyone's tapped in. And there's moments where only the core fan base is tapped in. And I think my task then is just to keep performing, keep consistent, keep on the stage,
Okay.
allow people in and out.
Mhm.
And I think I say this to say, I'm gonna continue being me, putting out the songs, doing what I do, and it's gonna compile and grow.
It's gonna be compounded, baby.
Yep, it's gonna keep going up. But I have plans. My deluxe is coming. I'm working on more videos and more things, and I'm traveling more, doing more shows.
Let's go.
But all these things are gonna combine,
Yep.
and they're gonna keep growing.
Mm.
And that's people are gonna just see it way later. They're gonna say, "Oh yeah, it happened like this, and it just kept going. It just kept going." That's how careers are made.
Yeah. Bro, so on the note of being yourself, people will literally, and this is probably the biggest problem maybe on Instagram and the social media world, is they build this character, this facade, this fake character that they want the world to see, right? Instead of being themselves. Being one of one, there is only one of you on planet Earth. A lot of people put a facade up and they try to overly perfect who they project to the world and who they put out there. Talk to me about why it is important to be yourself, which is inherently unique.
Because it's important to be yourself, because if you went through the effort to find out who you are in the first place, then that effort by itself warrants being yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's hard enough to figure out who the hell you are once you do so, and if you're still putting up a facade, it's like, what was the point of putting all the effort in to figure out who you are?
Well, so do a lot of people not know themselves on a deep level enough, and they're over here thinking, hey, I need to be this, I need to be that, instead of the opposite, which is, let's forget about all the editing, perfection, and granted, production matters, right? Attention and actually putting out good shit, but for someone who's trying to get started, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I mean, you might not realize you're an NPC or something like that, because you're going off the motion of everything else. You're like, everybody copies somebody.
Yeah.
Well, now I started doing stand up years ago.
That was my first thought. Yeah.
It was like I was emulating the people I watched. You just gotta find your own voice. You know what I mean? And that takes time. You gotta figure out your own opinions and your own sort of views and things like that. It's like that with everybody.
I got a little side piece to kind of add on to what he was saying. Is I do think some of the people putting up those facades, I think maybe 18 to 25% of them, it's unintentional. Like you said, they're kind of trying to find themselves and don't know how.
Yeah.
And just doing bullshit. And then, of course, Max, like you're saying, there's that large group who just truly thinks they have to be somebody else to make it.
Well, I can only, and this is kind of like, maybe you can relate or not, but I can only speak on these things because I've lived them and I've been on the other side of all of what I'm talking about.
Likewise.
And so it's only because I've become more self-aware that I could even speak on this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, because otherwise I'd still be out here trying to overly perfect this podcast, this conversation, and probably wouldn't even be here in the first place. Mm-hmm. But the more I lean into being unique, and this stems back to the first podcast we did with my dad. He owns a children's product. It's a plush toy that basically has a storyline to teach kids, be unique, lean into that. You are one of one. You're incredible and amazing as you are, and you don't need to try to be like everybody else.
Sure. I think that's a good message, and I also think, somebody's not aware if they're putting something on. You know what I mean? You have to, that song "Man in the Mirror."
Mm-hmm.
You have to actually have a conversation with yourself like it's a different person, and understand what the hell you want, or what the hell you think, or what makes you feel comfortable or uncomfortable. You really look in a motherfucking mirror and understand these things, or you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, agreed.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta just spend time alone, right? Spend time with yourself. Put yourself.
Which a lot of people are scared to do, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, because there's so many ways to drown. You're. I won't interrupt you, but there's so many ways, like with social media and videos and music, and people do not sit alone quietly in a room with themselves enough.
Right. And even if they was sitting alone quietly, it's like, what are you trying to figure out about yourself? Like it's a relationship with you and yourself.
Yeah, agreed.
So it's like I say, it's effort. You know how much effort you want to put into it, and then you'll get that out of it.
Yeah. A lot of people, I think, going back to spending time with yourself, you have to find a reset button for yourself. For example, I was speaking with somebody earlier today about fishing. That's one of mine. I'm a big outdoorsman. I don't know if we spoke about it a little earlier. But and then a second one I have is if I have a crazy day where I'm having trouble kind of, I guess, putting everything in order to be able to function properly, I go home, shut all the lights off, turn my phone off completely. I spend 10 minutes just in silence by myself, and it helps me kind of get back to who I am. And I start over from there. I think a lot of people need to find that reset in their lives, whether it be fishing, sitting alone, or whatever it may be. Do you have one of those?
I don't even do that enough.
But it's
So,
euphoric.
You know what I mean? So it's like I
But
don't
yeah,
blame
you still
nobody.
become self-aware.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but it's like there's an aspect of intentionally doing it, right? And then subconsciously doing it. So it's like you really gotta put the intention to like, okay, I'm gonna figure out what the hell I like, what the hell I want. You know, I'm figure out why I don't like something else. Because the why is just like the purpose. The why don't you like the thing?
Yeah.
What about it don't you like? If you can't find the reason why, then you got to think about, well, am I really disliking this thing? You know.
Yeah.
And that goes with anything, any emotions. Why am I feeling this way? You know, figuring that out, that'll open doors.
Agreed. Well said.
Yeah.
I'm handling some quick business.
Do
if
your
you'll
thing.
continue.
Do your thing. Yeah, but I think I guess furthering that topic is that I didn't realize that until I'm 31 now, but I didn't realize that until almost 27 years old. I was a very wise guy, wise beyond his years. He taught me that. He was like, intentionally find time for yourself. And I've learned probably from 26 to now, spending time by yourself, probably one of the best things you can ever do.
Right. Definitely, yeah. I'd say so. I just had my birthday was the 14th.
Oh yeah.
Happy belated birthday.
Thanks. I just turned 26.
Right on. What you guys
No way.
Right on.
26. This guy has
You're
We're
crushing
living
it.
till 100 and 120. We got time,
You're
Relic.
crushing life. 26 years old. All right, well, I do want to bring this up briefly. It's a complete side note and a sidebar. We talked about it a little bit earlier. The haircut.
Yeah.
You remind me of bringing that
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
I personally absolutely love it. First thing I said when you walked through, told you I digged it. And you have some debates back and forth about either it's a wig or real hair. First off, can you tell us where the style came from? Or is it just naturally you from the jump?
Nah, so I had an Edgar cut,
There you go. I know exactly what you're talking about.
right? And I had an Edgar, and I was growing out the sides. It kind of just happened like this. So I had a homegirl did hair, and she was straightening it, and you know, it got longer. I went with the bangs, and I got the ends bumped, and the whole thing. So now it's a process. I'm using sprays and oils and all that shit. But over time, it kind of happened like this. So it's like, my hair is always naturally wavy, but the more I straightened it, it just kept
Start to learn.
keeping care of it, and now I'm getting it done pretty frequently. It's supposed to go yesterday.
How
But-
frequently is frequently?
Like once every 10 days.
Well,
Damn,
saying
it's growing
crispy.
that fast?
Well, so first of all, the problem is keeping it even.
Fair.
So I gotta if I'm on the road, I'm cutting it myself,
Okay, so you
which
probably
is
honed it down.
not hard because especially the bangs, it's very easy.
Yeah.
I'll keep like a little bit of space so that it could get bumped later. That's when I go to the stylist.
Okay,
Get it
good.
bumped. So that's kind of the most important part because the shape after that is like that's how you get it. You know what I
You
mean?
gotta lock
So
it in tight.
yeah, and then I'm just keep it hydrated and yeah.
Right on. So it
My
came naturally.
my sister hair is just as thick.
Okay.
So I'm just I don't know why, but I'm just like I got mad thick hair. I've had braids before. Yeah.
You have braids? Is that what you said?
I've had braids a couple times.
I gotta find that picture, bro. You gotta show me that before you.
Yo, do you have one
I
on
had
your
like
phone?
I had like a 6-stitch.
Oh, you got.
I had 2-strand. I had.
That's what's up, my boy. Alice got a
And, hey,
6
was
right now.
was the red coming through then too?
So
Because that's like the true
when
color you got, right?
I don't know why, because when the light hits it, there's like a red pigment.
Correct.
Yeah,
It's
like
the
right
same.
now.
It's the same in my beard. It's just my hair.
Yeah.
Like even on my arms and stuff. I don't know why. It's just a certain color of brown.
Well, bro,
Yeah.
I have brown and blonde hair, and obviously gray. Everybody can see that now. But
I thought you was more blonde.
yeah, so generally I am, and in the summer, if I expose my head more, I get more blonde. But my facial hair gets red. It's the weirdest thing. It may not be looking at it right now,
No,
but
I
like
can see that.
maybe in the winter, it's like pure red. It's very weird. But nothing on my head is red outside of the face. It's kinda odd.
What are you? You're Irish. I know
No,
that. Correct?
yeah, I'm a black
not
guy
Irish.
actually.
Was that a joke?
Who?
I've heard that many times online.
That I'm Irish?
Yes.
Not a lick Irish.
No, I'm making Irish.
He said no
Walk me
chance.
through the background then. What are you?
He
if you
said,
don't
"Yo,
mind
I'm
me
from Jersey, bro."
I'm Jewish and predominantly like 90% Polish.
asking? Okay.
Oh,
good.
really?
Mm-hmm.
There's many people who are saying you're Irish online. That's why I was confused.
I am not Irish. I don't know where that's.
I think it went hand like people assume just because of the redder hair, but now I get it. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's strange. But I I'm not. People think I'm Italian too.
I can see that also.
Not a lick Italian. Not a lick Irish.
Not a lick.
It's crazy. Not even a little bit.
Not even a bit.
Yeah, I'm
Did
black.
you ever get what's that test?
Just a regular old black.
Well, you
guy.
missed what I said earlier. Obviously, I'm black too. So, is it what's that gene test? What that? Something 24. What are
Isn't
those
don't you
called?
have to like spit into a cup or something?
I've never done that.
That was my point.
Because
Did you do one of those?
I can't because I'm not gonna be able to trace past my grandparents. It's,
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be
Fair
impossible. They was in the Holocaust, so they survived the Holocaust and came to America.
Oh
It's a
yeah.
beautiful thing.
Yeah, so
Bro.
I'm not able. We don't know anything.
Bro.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
No
That's
family records
deep.
or anything, maybe.
What, from where?
Yeah, fair enough.
It's
Yeah, where
from-
they can come
Fair
from?
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's over with. So all of that, as the most I know is they had a lot of family that didn't make it, and then they was mostly Polish.
Okay.
Bro, you're still blowing my mind with being 26 years old.
Bro, I
Just
did
with-
not.
Really?
I thought you were about to say like 35.
Jesus Christ!
That's
No,
not a
bro.
dig, bro. Not even. I can't even grow a beard, Relic. You were 26. You had to
I
shave
think
yours
he
just a
has-
little bit,
Yeah.
but
Well, I have friends in middle school with beards.
I was about to say.
oh, I did too, for sure.
I grew my beard out for the first time my freshman year of high school, but I was having stubble in middle school,
God damn.
and my granddad's got a full head of hair. Maybe you're just broken.
Oh, I know. Oh no, trust me, I am broken as fuck for sure. People call me crazy, and I am crazy, but that's not the point. We're here with Relic, and that's what matters.
You got a beard. Though. I'm looking right at it.
Yeah, I mean, I got a little goatee thing going on, but like,
looks
I
like
just
it
wish it
would
would
go
fill in and whatever.
You gotta
Doesn't
let
matter.
it- let it
I
go.
admire beards like yours.
Hey.
He's got a man.
You have a good
beard.
look. It's a good look.
Hey, thank you. Hey, stroke that ego. I like that. We're gonna keep him around a little longer, Relic.
Oh, good.
Oh,
God damn it, that's so funny.
just got off on a wild tangent.
Yeah, I know, wild tangent. And you know what's funny is going into this, we were like, this is going to be the funniest podcast of all time because his and my, like, our conversations on a daily basis are just pure laughing on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, it could not go, you cannot click with somebody better the way me and Ernie do, and a lot of people on my team. Like, that's why I have them on my team, is because we can work together so flawlessly and intertwine comedy, and it's amazing. But like, I also think the value here really does stem from what we've already talked about thus far, and it's like diving into your story and how you got here and all that stuff. But we did come into this like, this is going to be just laughs the entire
I
time.
told him when you stepped out.
Yeah.
I told him I was like, I had like an idea of what I thought this was going to be, and then as I've already said, the minute I looked at you and shook your hand, I was like, oh, this is about to be. we getting
Nah,
deep.
this
We're getting
boy
deep
is
today.
a tunnel vision. This
Hey.
boy is dialed.
Y'all could do it. I mean, like I said, I gone to interviews. They'd be like, "So what's going on?" I'd be like, "Well, I don't know." So it's like I could.
It's
know
what
I mean?
you make it out of the interview for sure.
Yeah.
Like, we could easily waste a bunch of people's time shooting the shit like
Yeah.
that, but we could do that in the parking lot. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
true.
We wanted to meet you.
Well, and we're here to deliver value. What I keep telling to the audience is, hey, you're not going to click with every podcast. You're not going to like every episode, but there are going to be ones that jump out at you and scream at you with value. And all I try to do is
Right.
bring guests on that can bring value in some way, shape, or form. And I think a lot of people are going to go, damn, he's 26. He started at 12 years old. He's been hustling for 14 years. And that's just a freaking American success story. And I love it. And as we know, you are not at your destination. Success has not been hit yet because it's the pursuit, it's the journey, it's the day to day, right? And you're living that, and it just gets me freaking excited, Relic.
That was
God damn it!
yeah.
That's great. Y'all doing good too.
I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah.
We're headed in the right direction. You know what I'm saying?
That's all you can do.
Yeah, bro, for real. So talk to me about how being an unsigned artist now, today, is that the plan all the way through, you fully retiring eventually? Do you think it makes sense at some point to harness somebody at a really high level in terms of, an Atlantic type? I'm not going to say Atlantic specifically because we know their track record with with artists disappearing, but like somebody who's big and up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, will that eventually make sense, or do you already know in your mind, nah, it's going to be no on all fronts because I got a grand plan?
No, I think as a career progresses, you treat it like a company, so it has formative years of a certain way of doing business. Ben and Jerry's could sell their company or sell some shares and then keep it pushing or rebrand and have do a merger or whatever. So I don't want to commit to anything in a stubborn way
No,
now.
of course.
And then I'm always open to things that'll make sense. I really just things that don't make sense is going to make sense in the moment right away. I'm not going to have to overthink it.
Yeah, when that opportunity presents itself.
Right. So there was a whole bunch of deals I had that was that weren't too favorable, and it made me overthink it because you could still come out on top of of an unfavorable deal. You could still get the best of it.
Correct.
I've known people who've done that, but it's the same question, like, for what? Why take something unfavorable to put yourself in a harder position to hope that you overcome it when you could just circumvent all of that?
Mhm.
This also was happening at a point in time that was very fast paced.
Mhm.
So any moments that
Yeah, for
I was
real.
any moments I was on the phone having a meeting, I'm also supposed to be outside, like, currently, building up this audience that's coming in. So it's like they take advantage of that too. They know that if I'm away from the audience, that it's gonna slow down. They know this.
Yeah.
So I'm not the first one they try to. So it's like I had to make sure that I'm still taking care of what I'm building.
Yeah.
So the overthinking couldn't be sustainable.
So two questions, and totally up to you how far you dive into this in terms of the answer. Can you share with people what a deal looks like when a record company comes to you and says, "Hey, we want to sign you"?
Mm-hmm.
Talk, if you can, about, without obviously calling people out, what does a split look like? What does ownership of masters look like? And then my second extension on that would be, I really admire Russ. I don't know if you know
I know
Russ, the
Russ.
artist. He's from Atlanta.
He's from
He
Jersey.
Oh, he is. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. He lives in Atlanta,
Yeah,
or at least
that's
one of
okay.
his homes. His mom lives here up the road. And my point there is he's always owned all of his stuff, I believe, or at least he's talked about it in great detail about how crucial that is. Can you touch on what a split looks like, or at least some of these offers that you're getting hit with? And then on that note, let's take a Russ, for example, who mixes, masters, and owns his shit. Is that something you can touch on?
So first and foremost, it depends on what kind of record deal. So most of the time, and this was traditionally, they'll take basically everything, give the artist less than 15%, sometimes 8%, sometimes 9%.
Is that for real?
Yeah.
Yo.
So, but this is so you get an advance, right? Now, the way I explain it is the advance is supposed to cover your expenses as a person. That was the whole point. If you think about way back in the days, if they signed someone like Ray Charles, they know his rent is 10,000 some dollars a year. Here's your $10,000. You don't got to worry about working a job. You could now just play music for us all day. That's your advance. Now, as the business got bigger, the record music industry got bigger, the advances got bigger. It had to entice people. When they give somebody $1 million advance, they're saying this is going to be basically your only check that you're going to see. You're not going to see nothing from your masters because we own that. You're going to get an artist share. That could be a small percentage, and that's negotiable as the term goes on. But the point is, this big advance is supposed to cover you for the length of the term. A lot of deals that was getting signed 10 years ago, they'd be lasting 15, 20 years. It'd be a certain number of albums, deliverables. They could also determine what an album is and what it's not, so that they could say, oh, this is not an album, this is a mixtape, you still owe us another album. That's why when people want to get dropped, they drop four albums at once in a year. It doesn't matter if it flops, they're trying to get out their deal.
So
If
Drake,
they have,
that's what comes to mind.
that's exactly what happened with Universal. So this is the advance has to be paid back, right? That's the biggest.
Well, out of future upside, yeah.
Well, any profit your music makes first goes to recoupment of
Yeah.
the advance.
Yeah.
So the advance, whatever they give you, has to be made back. On top of that, once it's paid back and you're fully recouped, they still collect a certain post-recoupment percentage. So for me, when they offered me, it was a singles deal, not a record
It's
deal.
disgusting.
A singles deal is different because they just want the one song, but they want it for a certain amount of time. They'll
Do they
have.
want the master too?
Well, yeah, that's the
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the post recoupment split could be 50-50. Some cases it's 80-20. Some cases 60-40. Depends on what you negotiate.
But usually they're in the advantage, right?
Yeah,
Or depends, obviously.
it depends. Mine specifically, I negotiate for a slightly higher post recoupment rate, which was 55 in my favor percent. But this still is not good. You know what I'm saying? So that means they're collecting this amount of percent off all your earnings for the term. The term could be 15, 20, 25 years, doesn't matter. At this point, you're doing nothing, and they're still collecting it. So by the end of it, if let's say they're giving you 100,000 advance, you actually have to make around 300 before you actually get any profit yourself.
That's wild.
Because of the paying back the 100. So now you have to make 100.
So
Then you have to pay back an additional. You're getting a 50% split, which
Yeah.
means you have to get 200 in profit to get the 100 back. You know what I'm saying? So you're actually making 300 just to actually get 100 in the advance in your pocket.
So two things. Do they think artists are stupid?
Yes.
And then also, is it because they're capitalizing on the fact that most artists are broke, and that's why this whole advance thing even came about in the original, like back in the day?
Well, most people broke, so
Yeah.
they know that, and then they also a lot of the labels, they're banking on what is owed. So most of them, unless you're a major, doesn't have the liquidity to kind of really move. That's why deals now are for bullshit numbers.
Yeah.
Because they can't afford, with the way the music's going, to shell out so much money on their advance. And they're praying that an artist is stupid, because you could then sell them on something ridiculous. You could say, hey, sign to this, we're not even going to give you an advance, we're going to give you a marketing budget, which you also have to pay back. So the advance goes...
Yo, the marketing budget too?
This is
Everything.
modern day slavery.
Everything.
Everything. A traditional
No,
deal
this is straight scheming.
is going to be an advance, which you pay back, recording budget, which you pay back, marketing budget, which you pay back. Your manager gets 20%. Your lawyer gets 5 to 10. You're in it for a certain amount of years. There's a sunset clause. You can't even out your deal. You can't drop certain music out of your deal. If you just got dropped, let's say, they'll give you like however many months you say you can't drop, or you can't go to another label. What they do now is they'll have small labels. They'll get somebody first. They'll get an artist trending, like, as they're trending. Sign them for something small. throw bots on the song, manufacture the movement.
What does that mean, bots?
They'll make the song go viral.
Oh, copy.
So then a major will come in and talk to the boutique label, it's called the small label, and say, hey, we want this song. And then they'll sell it at a huge markup to the major.
What a finesse.
And the artist is kind of like, oh, well, now I'm signed to Warner now.
This
And
is
then
so
they
corrupt.
don't really have much of a say.
I did not realize how corrupt that industry was.
How many
So
what
it's-
would the
I didn't even get into the corruption. That's just how.
yeah, I was
That's
about to say, you're calling it corruption. That's just
That's
like
just the
greed.
business
That's
model.
just the business
Yeah.
model.
I'm not even getting into the corruption.
No,
Tap into that.
Well, yeah, I guess whatever you're willing to share, we don't have to name names, but like, let's give the people a little insight.
Well, I mean, first
Just
of all,
an
it's a
example.
closed door industry,
Mm.
which means everyone in it is already cemented in it, and they're gonna. If you're new, you're gonna be more likely to get taken advantage of. You need certain connections, right? So like, what happens if your manager knows the A&R who got a certain plot to sign your song and not really give you much, and then the lawyer's in on it because they all are friends. So it's
Kickbacks
like,
flowing and all sorts
yeah,
of shit.
like
maybe.
there's I've heard stories. They'll say, hey, you have a $30,000 recording budget. You need to spend this money. It's contractually obligated. You spend this money on recording, but you're not allowed to go to a studio of your choice. You have to go to this studio in LA. Oh, just so happens my friend owns that studio.
That's wild.
So I'm basically signing you, giving my friend $30,000 that you have to pay back.
Man, I believe in karma, so I don't know exactly how that comes through at such a high level in terms of like, a corporation's karma. But I fully believe that if you're putting dog shit out there, you're gonna get dog shit back eventually.
There was a federal investigation. They tried to investigate Warner, and they
Warner
gave
specifically.
them a scapegoat, and they basically said, yeah, we're fraudulently pumping these numbers up, and we're signing people
Oh, they admitted to that.
in a manipulated way. Sorry, it was this guy's fault.
So it was a plea deal with no.
Somebody
no
got
just a slap on the wrist.
fired.
Yeah.
Somebody definitely got fired. That's insane.
That's actually sickening.
No, it is.
Mhm.
I'm glad that you're above that and you understand. Like you did your due diligence, so you're not a part of that.
Well, he's far more intelligent.
That's what I'm
than,
saying. Yeah,
a lot
like
of
you sounds like you've done your research, so you can avoid living.
I mean,
that
it.
life.
I can't make it an intelligence issue, because if you're an artist and you have little to no choice to kind of get into this environment.
Well,
You
that's
have to.
I was about to say that's a good way to put that.
You
for
get what
sure.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
You're
they don't have
put
a
in a
choice.
position
Yeah.
where you don't have a choice.
Mm.
You literally don't. Because if you choose to refuse all that, you're getting treated less admirably, favorably. You're not getting radio play. You're not getting playlisting. You're not getting
It's
the
still an
shows.
opportunity.
You're
It's
not
just
performing.
not a great opportunity.
You're not going on tour.
Mm.
You're not getting, like, certain artists with nothing going on are getting triple the money an independent artist with a lot going on is getting, because of their representation, because they're in that system.
Hmm.
So it's really like a catch-22. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and how beneficial is radio play now? With obviously we're living in a streaming world. So is it still?
That's just that right there, from my understanding, is a way of influencing the sales of a record.
Okay.
That a label can say, yo, I got this song on the Hot 100 at this level.
Copy.
It's being paid for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So someone like Cardi B, her label got it in a way where it's being spun on radio so many times, it's automatically gonna hit, high up on the charts, regardless.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That's something that is unbeknownst to everybody. That's a deal that's completely going on behind closed doors. How much radio plays going on?
Yeah.
I was told in a certain conversation when it came to signing, oh yeah, don't worry about radio. Radio is not important. I was told that, which is basically saying that the small label that was offering something, they're not going to pay all that money to do radio. They'd rather pump it up artificially on streaming like Spotify, wait for a major to come in. The major covers that bill of the radio. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the major's problem.
What
if
a
you think
game.
about it, how many people really listen to the Hot 100 Billboard if it's not on a shuffle playlist?
Nobody.
Or if they turn on the radio?
Yeah.
That's kind of the point. Like, those spots, which are limited spots, they have to be paid for. You know what I'm saying?
Copy.
So the people paying that money, most people, it's not in their best interest to do so. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
That's why, like, a person with a viral song on the internet, for it to reach that level, first of all, people are investing now in catalog.
Okay.
So, like, Future sold his catalog for some, like, 50 million or some stupid number. Drake is trying to sell his catalog for $1 billion.
Well, yeah,
Catalog.
Justin Bieber already did it, right?
Exactly. That's why
Was that 400 some million? I think.
some catalog is important, because those songs that are 15 years old are classics. So they're still going to be streaming and on radio.
Decades from now.
Yes, because that's a more secure investment than the guy who went on TikTok last week.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
That
So
shit's proven.
the people who get those spots, those limited spots on radio, those are those people with the catalogs.
And Taylor Swift probably did it at a whole nother level too, right? In the billions, or at least they're selling part of their catalog.
Yeah, just a percentage,
Mm.
just a share of it,
Mm.
like a stock is gonna
Yeah,
is gonna
like a
increase.
stock, dude.
Yeah, so that's like, it's a different conversation. You would want as an artist to say, oh yeah, my label's gonna cover this thing and make sure it grows to this amount, but there's no guarantee that a label will invest that even if you're signed. I've heard stories they sign a person just to shelf them because he sounds like too much like the next guy.
I have also heard of that,
So it's like
which is wild.
you really have no way of knowing or guaranteeing that they're going to hold up their side of the deal. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
From a labor's perspective, too, you can't guarantee that the artist is going to have the same drive or make the same music
Yeah,
or
they
be
still have
as
a risk,
consistent.
for sure.
They have a huge risk. But they get over it because they signed so many people.
It's a averages game. Yeah.
Right.
I had no idea it was so in depth. I'm gonna be transparent. I did not do a deep dive on the industry.
Well,
But
no,
I feel
that's,
like I'm
that's
hearing
why
just a
it's
tiny piece
fascinating
of
to
it.
hear.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did
and
not.
pick his brain a little bit. And again, you're only 26 and you know all this. That's crazy.
Well, I was at a point where my eyes would wake up in the morning to a phone call. My phone was ringing, and I'd get on the phone with labels and lawyers and stuff until 2 a.m. I was not off the
Yo,
phone.
for real?
Yes, from the moment my eyes woke up, I'd wake up to my phone ringing, and then I'd be on the phone all day.
You just throw it on mute and you listen to a lot, or there's a lot
No,
of back and
like
forth?
intense conversation.
God
like,
damn, bro.
I didn't even get no food, no water, just all day speaking to these labels. That was going on for like a week.
When was this?
This was last September-ish.
Okay.
This was because
Damn, right before the
right after.
yeah. Oh, right after. Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
so this was because they're trying to, first of all, it's in their best interest to motivate me to sign. They do this by putting doubt in my head, unintentionally or intentionally. It's in their best interest to get me for cheap, so they downplay what's going on. All of these factors combined, you gotta do a bidding war. So if one label offers something, you go to the next one and say, yo, these guys offered me this, so what do you want to do? And then they
how you-
deliberate, and then they come back, and then you gotta take that and then say to the first people, this goes on. It was like a web of 10.
I was about to
Yeah.
say.
So it's like, it's taken me and my partners out there all day to do
Literally
this.
all day.
So it's like, they're also banking on the stress that
Of
it's
course.
causing me to make sure that I'm not outside with the fans or posting or everything like that. So it's like, that's how I had to learn all those things in real time.
Yeah, you had to live it.
That's insane. And you know what's crazy is you went through all that, and I guarantee you, you had to have ruffled some feathers by not accepting one of those deals. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to put yourself in front of all of that. It sounds like you did.
There
the
was
right
an A&R one time. I hope I remember this story correctly. He called me. They just get my number too. Like I gave people my number, but they also get it from people. So I get a call. The guy, I won't say what label he's with, but he's like, yeah, bro. So you, what you want to do? You want to sign? Like, what you want to do? You know, I listened to your music and it's actually good. Like I thought you was a joke, but you know, this shit's actually kind of not bad.
Hey, yo, what
And
kind
I
of...
say to him, I'm like,
What?
I was like, excuse me? And he goes, well, I'm just saying, like, you know, we all thought he was a joke and shit, but it's not good. It's pretty good. You know, that one little song.
So yeah, take my deal.
And then he was like,
What the fuck?
I didn't say nothing. And then he was like, huh, this is the most awkward call I had to do to sign an artist.
You let him live in it, boy.
Yeah, and then I was like, yeah. And then I was like, what label is this for? And then he said it. And I hadn't heard of it. Dead ass. I wasn't trying to be rude. So I was like, I haven't even heard of it. And he was like, I mean, hey, you know, we're pretty, we got things going, man. Like, if you wanna sign, you know what I mean?
How do people get in positions of power, you know, like that? That's wild.
Then, you know what he did? It turns out I knew that it was a label from an agency from a guy that I knew, right?
Okay.
Just from doing shit.
So there was a connection.
So I was like, oh, so you know him? I said, yeah, he's running it. I said, oh, okay. At this point, I know his boss. So it's like I could just talk to your boss. And then he goes, he said some other shit, and then he was like, yeah, man, you know, just overall, bro, you know, I'm here to help. So, you know, if you got any, you know, questions or, you know, you want to know anything about this stuff, then, you know, you just let me know. Just reach out. I said, likewise.
After straight disrespect, having the audacity to be like, yeah, we just want to help. We're here to.
Yeah, I'm
to
a
be good guys."
resource, by the way.
You handled that immaculately, by the way.
It's like, you know, I could probably tell you how to do a better job and on how to pitch. He also couldn't, he didn't know why he was on the phone with me. But this is a pattern. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people would reach out without fully knowing shit. So if you're asking yourself, why is music so bad nowadays? It's like, literally nobody is going to take the time to figure out what makes an artist good or valuable.
Yeah.
Especially if they want to sign them. That's like the last thing they want to know. You get what I'm saying?
I do, yeah.
Why would I want to know? I'm about to sign this guy. Why do I want to know about his background and shit?
Well, especially if their plan is to suppress and to not really, you know, let you do you. And maybe that wasn't your example specifically, but like, you know, as you said, sometimes they'll shelf somebody just to, you know, intentionally push somebody else to the top, right?
Yeah.
So they don't need to know who you are at your heart because they don't really care, which is obviously fucked. But
Why should they care?
At the end of the day,
Am I gonna give all the chickens that I take to slaughter names?
yeah, no, fair enough.
Like, why would I care? You know what I mean? If I'm a label, oh yeah, just sign this dude, little fuckface. Shit's going pretty good.
You're just a number to them at that point.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, we know you as a human being. You're not, but I'm saying in their eyes, everyone's a number. It's like a lot of these huge corporate companies where people go in thinking they're going to change the world, and they realize fairly quickly you're a tiny fish in a massive pond.
Oh, and the people signing you, they're on a 6-month cycle.
What do you mean?
The company's always rinsing out their employees, you know, every 6 months to a year.
Oh, why? Just to keep it fresh?
Payroll.
Okay.
It's the business in a general sense is kind of shrinking, and they hire useless people. I've seen so many useless people. I literally see people. I hope they don't fire me. Like, they're useless people, and they know that. So a person's gonna sign you. Yeah, bro, we love you, bro. Like, sign this 10-year deal. Like, we're gonna grow with you. They're gone in 6 months. That person that signed you. Now it's a whole new person, and they don't care.
So if people know this going in, do they just pay them a bag to come in and work for 6 months?
They don't know that going in.
Okay, so they're blind.
Because, like I said, it's such a closed door industry.
Yeah.
They bounce around. So, like, someone will work at label A, get, laid off, and then go work at label B.
Okay.
Because who else are you really gonna get? You need people with some sort of experience.
Yeah.
So it's like they're gonna hire the same people. Oh, I'm working at this label now, guys. I'm happy to announce I'm working at this label.
And then they're blowing you up like they were at the last one.
Like, then they say stuff like the music industry person, like the industry expert person, all follows the same linear progression. They wanted to be an artist, failed, went to work at the label, was an intern, didn't work at that label, worked at a different label, junior A&R, senior A&R, maybe some marketing, got fired, went to another label, got fired, went to another label, then they get on TikTok, hey, submit your music, I worked at this label, did A&R at this label, A&R at this label. So it's the same like progression.
It's an endless cycle.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not just with one record
Sounds
label.
miserable.
This sounds across the board.
It sounds miserable.
Yep.
So
And then-
forget them. Let's run this shit on our own.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Those types of people, they were the ones calling me, and they were like, yeah, bro, like, going crazy right now. We all fuck with your shit. You know? So it's
Easy
like,
to say now.
yeah, I don't blame them.
No, for sure. Hard too. So how many days did were you on the calls all day figuring out whether or not that was going to work? And it sounds like you didn't do anything on that front, right? You made no commitments there?
It took months, to be honest, because people would throw their hat in the ring later. Conversation would drum up all over again.
Well, I was going to say, then you got to go back to each one and be like, here's the latest and the greatest.
I would just start blocking numbers at that point, bro.
I should have. They was downplaying things. Like, I went to Link Speed, and it was doing stupid numbers. And then a label dude was like, yeah, but this didn't translate to your streams. And it's like,
What?
it's impossible to sit there and come up with a reason why that wasn't good. You know what I mean? It's solely just to try and think that, oh, rush to sign for cheap. You know? Because it's like, the last thing they want is for an artist to cultivate their own fan base, have their own ecosystem, have their own fame and audience, and make their own money, and do their own shows, and have their own products without them.
That eliminates the need for them.
Yeah, you would think that at that point they'd say, hey, you're a good partner. Let's partner together. You seem to know what you're doing. We could fund it, and this could be an admin deal or something like that, or some sort of investment thing. But they just, I don't know. I had a meeting in LA. I discussed it with the guy. I'm like, it'd be better if, we was just more so partners, and that I wasn't just, another artist on the label. He's like, yeah, if I was you, I wouldn't even sign.
He kept the bug with you.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Well, you don't really know why he said that. He could say that because I was maybe difficult.
Yeah.
I sound difficult.
Well,
I'm sitting across from you saying all the reasons why your shit is not gonna work for me.
Yeah.
So I sound pretty difficult. So he's probably like, hey, yeah, no, don't even sign because maybe you a difficult motherfucker to work with.
Sounds like they want sheep.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, that's fair.
So.
I respect that you take all of this through a lens of like, well, what if I was in their shoes, To an extent, you're like, that's fair. I mean, it's not...
They wanted me to be in their shoes. They tried to hire me.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, I have to understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
So, it's a big game of chess.
So how many artists out there are getting completely screwed every day? 80%?
More than you think.
No, I would think it is a lot.
More than you think.
80, 90%. I mean, 10, 20
define screwed, because from that tiny percentage, you make a lot of money.
So I take it from a lens of I'm a 100% owner of my business. Granted, I do have people who are lined up to invest, and I'm willing to relinquish small percentages. But I look at it as, oh, you get 5 to 15%, and they're over here simply floating you for a year or two of personal expenses, and then they take 80% of the upside. That seems crazy. That's getting screwed, in my opinion. But I'm also someone who has owned 100% of my companies up to date. And I'm now about to bring in minority quiet partners, but they will still not be running the show. So I look at it through a lens of like, I would never fucking do that deal. But it's not screwed for a person who has no money, who then takes 10% and makes tens of millions or millions at a minimum. That's a good deal for that person, right? But I'm over here thinking of it from like an owner's perspective, or maybe from Atlantic or whoever is the one who at the 80%. And I'm like, damn, that's the deal. Like, you want to be on that side of things. So maybe, calling it getting screwed is rude. But I'm just saying a lot of these artists are being taken advantage of.
Yeah. But, how much can you bear to get taken advantage of?
Yeah, I think they're surviving at that point.
You have no choice.
Yeah, they're surviving.
it's
Well, you did say that earlier. Yeah, like if you have
You
no
don't
choice.
have much of a
I mean,
choice. Hey, cause I'm an outlier, so let's take me out the conversation.
100%.
So hey, your shit just went viral. You really don't know what you're doing. You have no team. You have no plan. You want to take 5% of this 10 million, or you want to take
100%.
100% of this 5,000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do. I get it.
So it's like
That's
most
fair.
people are gonna pick the form,
It's true.
which I don't blame. But again, I think a lot of people, they see interviews with Russ, for example. They see interviews and they say, "Oh yeah, well I want to be an owner too. I admire ownership. I value that. That's great." But certain things have nuance. The thing with Russ is all of his advice is 15 years out of date.
That's true.
So it's like he'll say, "Hey, you should be doing it this way today."
Because back when I did it.
Yeah, but it's like your songs are still earning money for 15 years. That's longer than people had any sort of motion.
Mhm.
So it's like that's already biased. No offense,
No.
but that's the issue that people are facing. It's like, all right, this is my third ever song. It just so happened to go up on TikTok a little bit, and they're already fishing.
Yeah, it's a completely different era than when he started.
Exactly. So like, understanding that kind of dynamic, because he'll say, "Hey, ownership is important. I make so much money because I own shit." If you have 10 albums that you own from 2011, that's great. But you could also, in your broader career, have 3 albums that's owned by the label that's making just as much.
Yeah.
So
That's
are
very
you
fair.
really any less of an owner? You're still an owner.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? If I own my merch and I get a certain amount of money for doing shows, that's my 100% ownership of. My music could be owned by somebody else. That doesn't make me any less of an owner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
fair enough.
True.
So I think people
And honestly, I wouldn't have had that angle or that perspective till you said it.
people that they fight so hard for ownership. They forget of ownership of what.
Correct.
Like,
yeah.
I just seen a video. Ashton Hall said, "Oh, I didn't take the deal with Saratoga Water because I didn't get any equity in the company."
Yeah. What was do you know what the deal is in general or no?
I just seen the headline, so
Yeah.
I'm not 100% aware. I saw the headline. I'm making a judgment. Sue me, but I literally I thought about that. If I've worked with Target before for an influencer thing.
Yeah.
if I said nah, I don't want to take your money for the post. I want to get
I want a piece of Target.
equity at Target.
A publicly traded
Who doesn't?
$100
Who
billion
doesn't, right?
business.
But I'm not
It's-
entitled to that whatsoever.
It's
Yeah,
an
yeah,
insane
yeah.
question. It's
You know
the
what I'm
same
saying?
reason to not do something.
It's because if I was obsessed with ownership, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that is also why I say, like, now I have perspective to bring in partners, but I used to have the mentality of I need 100%. And
Which is fair. If I was a painter, I 100% own all my paintings if they're sitting in my room not getting sold.
yeah.
Correct.
So it's like, it's kind of a difficult thing. Like, you want to own certain things.
Correct.
You're attached to certain things. Some people want to say, hey, that thing you're attached to, well, I want that shit. You just got to take it as it comes.
Yeah.
So let's talk merch since we're kind of on that category. Do you have merch now? Do you sell merch? Do you own exclusively the merch? And then what does the creative front look like for coming up with it?
I got clothes, and I got bobbleheads.
Tell people where they can find it on your
Link
website.
in
or
my
what?
bio.
Link
Big
in Relic's
Cartel.
bio.
BigCartelRelicRhymes.com.
Okay, there we go.
So like, I also sold Halloween kits.
Oh, I saw your video or post with the bobbleheads in your apartment. I think there was like 1,000 of them,
Yeah.
or you had them all spread out.
I sold out 3 times.
Oh, you have? Are you restocked?
I am now
Bro,
restocked.
Ernie, we're about to buy some fucking bobbleheads.
Office is about to be lit.
Bro. Yeah, office about to
Office
be
about to be
crazy.
They played the song.
You're joking.
Nah.
Yeah, they played the
Oh
song.
shit, it's over
Yeah,
with
we
for
got
real.
you. I'm about to send you a video in the next week.
How much is a bobble?
Just 20.
Okay,
Get
we're
out.
getting
They-
10.
they
for
played
sure.
a song.
We're placing them everywhere.
You put 3 batteries in it and it plays my hair done song.
Yo,
Which
telling you,
nobody had.
my boy's a creative genius.
You're about to get a
Yo.
video of me jamming in my office.
Which coincidentally, the guy who helped me do it, Matt Cho, I met him in Korea.
Oh yeah.
Well, I met him in New York, but then rekindled that in Korea.
Back to divine
So he
time and
has-
where you need to be.
That's how we got the manufacturing and stuff done from Korea.
What's the turnaround time like when you sell out? Is it another 8 weeks before you restock, or you got a better situation?
Something
than that?
something like a month and a half.
Yeah, that's.
But
usually-
I do it in bulk, and no one has the tech.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, they don't have it. It's too arduous to do. And
here in America or as a whole.
No one's doing that.
definitely in America, but as a whole, I'd say too. It's just you need to. It's just labels aren't doing that.
No, of course
period.
not. Not at all.
So like, no one's got that.
Yeah.
Straight up. I've had people hit me up to do it for them. Big artists.
And have you?
Yeah, well, I mean, like it's a big task, right? It takes a while.
Yeah, I mean, I would
So
think
it's
you'd
like-
say, "Hey, here's my cut. Like, I'll do it for you."
Yeah,
but-
yeah. But it's like that's still in progress.
Yeah.
Because it's taken a while.
Yeah.
But they hit me up to do that. Yeah.
Big names.
Internationally, shipped them. England, Australia,
I love that.
Canada.
How many do you sell out, or how many do you buy at a time? You said bulk.
Like 500.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
520 a piece. That's a Korea household.
Yeah, and I'm the one bagging them up.
Boy is so humble and
Genius,
full of
bro.
hustle.
I
I
signed
fucking
them.
love this.
I flew to LA and bagged them up on TikTok Live. I'm just bagging them up. Like,
Okay, I know nothing about streaming. Can you, in 60 seconds, tell me what I need to know about going live, streaming, and also the fact I will have one person watch at the beginning? What do I need to know about streaming?
streaming what? Like,
I don't know. You said like you're on TikTok, you're doing it live, right? You're bagging stuff up, but people are there. They love watching you be you, doing your thing, bagging up your bobbleheads.
Yep.
So like, what is that? Is it just simply you go live and just do it, and then try and do something that your audience is going to enjoy? You need to understand
I
the
mean,
demographic.
you could be live right now. It's the same concept. It's just conversation.
It's just that straightforward.
I mean, I noticed that the longer you're live, the more likely people can come in and out. It's kind of like that analogy where I said, you know, if you're on stage and people come in and out, you're
Yeah.
just constantly doing something.
Yeah.
Clips are important. So you take something relevant, clip it, and then put it up separate. So clips will draw attention to the streaming. Storylines. You don't want to just do nothing. You want to create some sort of lore, storyline, something people can follow. Because at the end of the day, it's an alternative to TV.
Are you very familiar with Ross Creations?
I actually, he hit me up actually.
Let's go. Are you
Yeah.
guys gonna do something?
Yeah, lives in like the middle of Florida.
I know, in the middle of nowhere. He used to be closer to like Ponte Vedra, Santa Rosa, or no, not Santa Rosa, but yeah, down there in Sarasota, that kind of whole area.
I should have, because I was just driving through to Miami, so I should have put that together. But I'll find.
So
time
I've
for
been
that.
sending both of them a bunch of Ross clips, and he also has a page where he gives like his actual advice of, you know, hey, here's what you need to be thinking about, and it's just raw, unedited, him in your face. But he leans into the whole, you know, you got to have a hook, and you got to close a loop, and you got to, you know, there's a whole methodology about how he goes about his videos, and he's popped off on a crazy level. I mean, like hundreds of millions of views across the board, if not in the billions by now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important. You know, it's like they teach you in school the header and the closer. And, you know, you start with an appetizer, you end with a dessert. So things like that.
I've
Has
never
to
even
be,
thought about it that
That's
way.
a
You got a
throwback.
way to rephrase things. I think
Huh.
that's gonna soak in with people for real.
Yeah. So it's like there needs to be a beginning, middle, and end,
Mm.
no matter what.
Yep.
The rule of three.
Okay,
So
that's good advice.
that's the best thing you could do.
Yeah.
Is just make sure there's a beginning, middle, and an end, no matter what. The middle doesn't matter as much as the end, and the end doesn't matter as much as the beginning.
Well, because you got to get people interested off the rip, right?
For social media, yeah.
Okay.
If we're talking about a movie, then the ending and the beginning and the middle all gotta be good.
Correct.
So, but that's the thing about it. 2-hour movie, you want to keep someone's attention,
Big shout out to the Odyssey.
Yeah, for real.
which I gotta go see.
Bro,
Yeah, have you not seen it yet?
we should have asked you before you came. We should all went to it. Maybe sick.
Well, there's like the 70 millimeter joint. The-
Yeah.
That's like sold out. I seen.
Mm.
Couldn't get no ticket.
Damn. I mean, it's
You're also.
It's
I
lucky.
mean, dude? What does it look like to go into public nowadays?
You could ask them. I'm constantly like.
Well, like, are you getting pressed all the time? Like, people taking pictures? Yo, Relic, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Is that overwhelming? Is it
No.
normal now? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Can you move the same?
Well, I'm always with people now. I've had to get security in some instances. That's different.
For specific events or appearances?
Yeah, or like certain cities.
Mm.
That's normal. I have to use different vehicles now, which is normal. But I'm ready for that.
you're ready to receive it.
And like, I've been getting recognized here and there. This past year, like, there'd be mobs in some cases, which again I can deliver, because in my head, if a supporter's coming up to me, they're expecting something.
Mhm.
So I could deliver their expectations, maybe not exceed them, but I could like, yeah, I'm nice to you. I'll ask your name. I'll shake your hand. I'll take the picture, and that's kind of all they want.
Yeah.
So it's like I'll deliver that.
Yeah.
You deserve that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going about your life, and you got your own things going. So it would suck if I kind of ruined this moment for you. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot of entertainers that are. Maybe it's just because they're too big and they have those interactions all the time, but like, sadly, they do suck, and they're willing to turn people away when like they just shattered somebody's heart, who's followed
Yeah.
you for a decade or two. And granted, they don't know the backstory, right? But like,
I get that too, because
well, I get it from both perspectives.
yeah,
for
it's
sure.
like, what if you're just getting food. Like,
Well, yeah. What did 2 Chainz say?
what if you just had an argument?
He said, "Yo, quit taking pictures of me in the fucking bathroom" or some shit in one of his songs. It's like, for real. Like, what kind of dumbass is about to approach somebody, and not respect their privacy in a bathroom?
Or like dinners. I think there's a
Yeah,
threshold
dinners.
that you should not cross.
With family,
You're eating
right?
with family, eating with your lady, whatever it may be. Leave them alone.
Where should people leave you alone? Or is there no time?
Well, it depends. Like
I know it depends.
I've gone out to eat with a girl, and someone will be like, "Hey, you know what? I don't want to interrupt. Can I get a picture?" And now the girl's all happy. You know what I'm saying? So you don't even know.
Like, my man is famous.
Well, first off, you did interrupt, but yes, I will take your picture.
And that's not even like that crazy, because they could. I don't know what it is about me, but it's like I don't like people. They come up to me like in a respectful way. You know what I'm saying? They might not do that with everybody.
Yeah.
But with me, they'll be like, "Hey, I don't know if I look like I don't know if I look intimidating or whatnot, but like they're not trying to go too much."
Yeah.
Also, like I said, I'm always with people, so that's
Right.
another aspect. People should leave. It depends. Like if I'm going in and out of somewhere quickly, then that makes a difference. It just depends, to be honest.
Okay.
It depends on the approach too. Like depends on what they're saying. Yo, is different from hey, excuse me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But I always like, treat people, how they want to be treated, basically.
Yeah. I think it's a beautiful thing, and if everybody in the world did that, it'd be a perfect place to live in. But we're still working on that. Still working on that balance right now,
Yeah, same shit.
especially in the city.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've had positive interactions
Okay, good.
pretty much like the whole time. So it's like,
Nothing. No one situation sticks out that you want to tell a story on. No, nothing.
I can't.
That's good.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
That's a
Okay.
beautiful
That's
thing.
cool.
Like if
That's
someone
awesome.
did some bullshit, which I'm sure they did,
you let it. Yeah.
But it's
you
like-
let it roll off you.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
good.
saying?
Straight, bro.
So
You've
it's
had more
like,
positive than negative.
yeah, I'd say more positive.
Yeah.
Good.
I get a lot of love.
You're blessed for real.
Yeah.
What can people expect next out of Relic? Relic Rhymes.
They got a lot to expect.
What can they look forward to in the 30, 60, 90 day window?
There needs to be eyes peeled, because I got a lot more music coming, and it's a matter of time before the next thing goes crazy.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried. I know what I'm capable of. I'm putting things out. I'm feeding the fans. There's other things I'm involved with. More branding things, more, acting things. Really just showcasing my talent. I think if everyone went into my world and they understood, okay, I want to see what he has to offer, then it wouldn't be so much of like, oh, go and wow us, do a flip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be more like, hey, I
Well,
want
no.
to see what he has to offer, and then with an open mind, they're gonna be impressed every time.
Well, you're multifaceted too. You're not just about to come with what they expect.
And that's why they should keep their eyes peeled.
And that's what I'm saying. And
Because
that gets
there's
me
going to be
lit.
something that they'll say, oh, hold on a second, I didn't think this would be like this. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
wait a second.
Right.
But that's also part of like the game of attention grabbing, right? I mean, first off, that's who you are as a human. You're nimble, you're mobile, you're flexible, you're creative. But that is also part of the attention garnering game, whether intentional or not, hitting them on all these different fronts. You didn't see that one coming. The music bobblehead? Boy, I saw the bobbleheads. I didn't think it was about to play the song. And now those are about to be slapping around our office all the time.
The Halloween kits.
Yeah, what's the Halloween kit? Tell us about that.
So it
They
was
about to dress up
it was
as
like
you?
2 months before Halloween is when my song came out, and there was this idea to say, oh, like, some people was dressing as me. I'm like, you know what? Halloween kits. The Bob and the Tank.
There you go.
It was like the day of Halloween. I
Bob.
did a costume contest. I think there was well over 2,000 people that I saw that dressed as me.
Yo.
They was
That's
posting
dope.
it. They was going viral.
Because this was a social thing, a social media thing. Right?
1,000%.
Yeah,
So
they could be.
I
Wherever.
was selling it. It also, if you get something from me, like a product, a merch, I'm signing it. I'm writing a note. I
So-
literally I had post-it notes. I would make it out to the person. I'd be like, "To Matthew, you just got your hair done," and then put it in the package. I'd put little prizes in there, cause I'm bagging it up. So
Live on TikTok, by the way.
yeah, so people got the Halloween kits. They was posting them. People would get people. I guess had their own bobs and tanks, so they would dress as me and tag me. All over the country, Europe,
That's so cool.
men, women,
That's so cool.
dogs,
Oh,
kids, like fish. I saw everything. Everybody was putting it like animated. They made me in Skate 3,
oh, that's dope.
like because there's a bob haircut, so they did it digitally. All types of shit
That
around
is dope.
Halloween. So definitely something big coming up for this Halloween.
And that can be found at the same link, correct?
Yep.
Right on.
Right in my bio.
Link in the bio.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Good deal.
Yep.
Well, shit, man, this has been packed full of value. I hope
guys
you're
had
coming
some-
back
some
for
great
round
questions.
2, bro.
Great questions.
Yeah, man.
I really appreciate that. We put some time into that and to trying to make sure we ask the right things.
You knew everything.
I told you I did
You
my
knew it.
research.
You knew everything. I don't know where you found some shit.
Hey, yo, Claude and ChatGPT are crazy. I'll tell you that for sure.
I just
You know, it scours the internet for you, and we had to put in the right questions, and,
Yeah.
and Ernie did a lot of the legwork here. But like, it's amazing in 2026 the resources we have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying,
And I think it's a respectful thing to do when you invite someone on somewhere.
bro?
And Max
Of
is
course.
Max is the man. He's getting all these amazing people on his show, and I felt like we needed to do you right by that.
Am I the first artist on the show?
Yes, you are.
You are, yeah. The you know, in terms of just like big status would be former NFL player Stevie Baggs Jr. He's inspirational speaker, actor, and that sort of thing. He actually comes here for integrative medicine. Shout out Progressive Medical Center. They're letting us use this facility for free, so I have to give the shout out to Gazzagoli. But anyways, yeah, you're the first artist, and I've sent a lot of DMs, and I have a lot of commitments right now. But a lot of people are very, very busy, obviously, as you are too. It just worked out date-wise. But, you know, they're like, hey, I'll hit you back up next year. I am in on the pod, but, you know, hey, I'm closing deals. I'm doing $100 million things. One of the guys who's committed manages $5.3 billion of assets for apartment complexes. Shout out Ryan Secco. We'll see you soon. But I don't know if you know Grant Cardone. He manages Grant Cardone's fund. He's a big real estate guy down in Miami, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah, but you know, it's
I have
lining
some
up, bro. And
recommendations if you want to get in the artist world. And
I would
some
love
people I
recommendations.
know.
And what I was literally about,
Yeah,
that's so
I was
crazy
gonna say.
because every podcast now, my thing is I would love to ask for 3 referrals, recommendations, whoever you think could either bring value, relate to us, or, you know, just have a good conversation. I would love if you would,
I'll
you know,
come
set
up.
that
I'll
up
come
for
up
us.
with some names for sure.
Yeah, bro.
That
That
makes
means a
sense.
lot.
Yeah.
That really does.
I think it's really you're really doing a good job and really bringing the value out of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's kind of the thing is like backtracking, and a lot of our guests, you know, I say, hey, tell me what you know really well or what your passions are or whatever, and I'll backtrack and come ready. You just come with what you already know as your knowledge and come sit down in the chair and we'll pull it out of you. But like we do the work on the front end, you know, back to preparation, you know what I mean? Like it's nothing without putting in some legwork on the front end.
Also, people come in and they don't have like a presence.
Mm.
Is that true?
You mean like just generally speaking?
Like
Yeah, like they don't have
you
an
could
audience?
you could ask Claude about me, but would you be
Oh,
able to
yeah,
ask
yeah,
him
yeah.
about
No, so like
anybody
I
else?
have a lot of friends that, you know, they're not nobodies, but they aren't well known. but they have fascinating stories. And so we've already shot a few of those in which I know the audience will get value if they'll simply go, hey, just listen and be open-minded, because I know a lot of people with just insane stories. And so my goal is not to replicate a lot of these episodes in which I bring in a ton of artists, but infrequently enough to bring the right value, because again, the audience is going to tune in and they may vibe with some of it, but they might not vibe with others, and that's okay. It's very Joe Rogan experience style on that format, very diverse guests, nothing really consistent, but I'm happy to have more entertainers and artists on, but I want to continue to bring value to the audience, the listeners, with time, by just diversity. You know what I mean?
I know some folks that could do that.
Yeah,
Right on.
that'd mean a lot.
And to answer your question about the Claude and the ChatGPT thing, it was a mix of that plus me backtracking, me
Right.
and Max I didn't prior to any of the AI platforms, I genuinely tried my best to just do a deep dive on you as a human being, and I think that's how I realized I think we should start this with his childhood, not all the way as a child, but 12 years old I thought was a great place to start, and I did that from just putting some legwork in, trying to find the right things out. And I'm happy I did, because you're awesome. You have so many layers to you, and I've thoroughly enjoyed this.
Dude, and we're
Means a
excited
lot.
to watch you grow, for real.
I'll be there every step
Don't
of the
forget
way.
us little people.
No, I can't. Ain't forget me.
Hey, for
That ain't
real.
gonna happen.
Hell no.
My guy. Thank you.
My friend.
Means a lot, Relic. For real.
Dude.
Yeah. Me and Ernie are humbled, for sure. Thank you guys for tuning in to the To The Max podcast. We're always trying to bring value from people like Relic. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will catch you on the next episode.